I go hard in the paint, yeah, homie, I'm a saint. Ride or die.
Alrighty guys, thank you for watching. So I was going to be doing a debate review on this particular debate, but then I thought it's 3 hours. That's a long time. I'd have to stop, pause it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some clips. I'm going to jump in a little bit, add some context. So to set up the first clips, there was a very heated exchange. Daniel made some smart aleck comments to Matt. Matt made smart aleck comments back. Daniel referenced Matt's girlfriend in an inappropriate fashion. Matt then hit Daniel hard for the comments he's made concerning child marriage and other things. So let me show you those clips. Then I'll show you a few things that he said about Christianity, and then I'll put a bow on it. Then in the next video that I will produce, it's going to show you the part in the debate where Matt and him actually discussed child marriage, and then what he said in the debate with Inspiring Philosophy, and whether or not Daniel was telling the truth. But anyway, here's the clips. Oh, I forgot one thing. Viewer discretion advised. I did not edit these clips. The clips are as they are. So if you have small children in the room, please leave if you do not want them to hear certain language. Also, don't mind the kids' projects in the background. We're still working on those.
Shut the fuck up, I tell you.
Oh, big man, come and say that right here.
Come and say it right where?
All right.
Here.
All right. Nice.
Chill out. I don't do anything. I'm not violent.
Go ahead.
Gentlemen.
Here it's allowed. Do it.
All right. I'm saying I would be interested in having somebody go through your browser history, considering what you've actually advocated for. But
yeah, see, you're joking about it, but you do advocate for restrictions. People who have
you just don't want to hear what comes after the but, do you? All right, never mind. Fuck it. Let's go through his browser history. We're only a few years away from the Charlie Hebdo attacks, where people went in with guns and killed satirists for mocking Prophet Muhammad. Never in my life I'm not an artist. I had no inclination to draw Muhammad or anyone else. But as soon as you tell me that I can't, I will. And I did. And I posted it. Not an offensive, nothing. It was just a normal tracing of an individual that was represented as Muhammad, and I drew it. Was that wrong of me? Was it wrong of me to draw an image of someone that doesn't make any sort of quality or quantitative assessment about them at all? I just did something because a religious group said I couldn't, and they killed some other people for doing it. Between 1979 and 2019, Islamists, hashtag not all Muslims, have been followed by terrorist watch groups and committed 35,000 attacks with 160,000 deaths.
I can't say certain things that I believe publicly. Why? Because I'm seen as an extremist, or I'm inciting violence, and therefore I have to be put in jail. If I burn a certain type of flag, if I make a certain type of joke in any of these secular societies on the basis of inciting hate or inciting extremism, I will be put in prison or fined heavily, or potentially even worse. So this is found in every single legal, cultural, and moral system.
What should the penalty be for saying that the Prophet Muhammad sexually assaulted a 9-year-old?
Insulting the Prophet, ﷺ, according to Islamic law within Islamic jurisdiction, would result in death penalty.
For me as well, even though I'm not Muslim?
If you were in an Islamic society with Islamic jurisdiction, according to Islamic law, if you insulted the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you would be executed after due process in front of a judge who would look at the evidence and make sure that you have actually violated the law. After full due process, if you are convicted of that crime of blasphemy, then according to Islamic law, you would be put to death.
Good thing I'm not in an Islamic country.
Alrighty guys, so I left those two clips together so you would see the setup and you would see the back and forth. Now the thing to take away from that is Matt is giving like, hey, this is what I'm seeing from your position, that in an Islamic state, if I did these certain things, I could face the death penalty. And Daniel Haqiqatjou is answering honestly, which is the majority position of Islam, that if you insult the Prophet, you can face the death penalty. The thing though is that there's not really like a clear level for what insulting means. I've heard disagreement could be considered insulting. I've heard saying that he's not a prophet can be insulting. But it's just like when you've ever heard the C.S. Lewis thing where he goes, Jesus was either a liar, lunatic, or Lord. So Muhammad was either a liar, lunatic, or prophet of God. I don't see any other way. So it seems like automatically I'm not conceding that he's a prophet of God because I'm a Christian, and I don't believe that the Quran came from God. I don't believe that he received any message. So it seems like I'm stuck in the other two categories, and it's trying to not be offensive, but just trying to say that, hey, I don't believe what you believe, and I don't believe this individual is credible. Now that, sadly, can mean bad things for me in an Islamic state, but where I live, that's typically something that we don't have to worry about. I wish more people had that safety. And here's the next clip.
So the idea of an all-powerful creator is the dominant idea across all these independent religions and cultures around the world. This is due to biologically rooted human psychology. In Islamic terms, we call this the fitrah. Islam is more compelling than other religions because it centers on pure monotheism. This differentiates it from other religions, many of which also endorse the idea of a creator God, but blend it with polytheism. For example, the Christian notion of the Trinity mixes monotheism with polytheism. Another example is Judaism. Certain passages in the Hebrew Bible are strictly monotheistic, others are polytheistic.
If we were to judge compellingness by whether or not, or by the number of adherents, then no. There's at least one religion that is more compelling than Islam on that front, and that's Christianity. It has more adherents.
All right, now, to be fair, Matt did give a little bit more clarification after that, because Matt is not conceding that Christianity is true by any means. He's just pointing out an issue with something that Daniel had said, because earlier Daniel had implied almost like a popularity fallacy, or because something's growing that it makes it true, or because something is compelling makes it true, and that doesn't necessarily follow. So in this other thing, you see him pushing that there is a strong drive to monotheism, and that he believes that that is support that will help Islam. But then at the same time, he says that the Jewish texts, which would be what we're looking at as the Old Testament, has polytheistic verses in it. Then he's also saying that you Christians took the monotheism that Jesus Christ gave you and are blending it with polytheism for the Trinity, but that just showing he does not understand the Trinity. So the Trinity is one being, three persons. So there's a clear distinction. Now, what I mean by like being person distinction, as you'll run into this, so there's trillions and trillions of rocks in the universe. So the rocks have a state of being, but they don't have a state of person. Now, if you're looking at human beings, we have like 8 billion people on the planet, probably pretty close to that. We have a state of person and a state of one being. Now God is one being, three persons. So there's a clear distinction between being and person. And so what we're describing as the Trinity is God cannot be divided. And so I'll try to do like another video more in depth on the Trinity, but I just wanted to kind of highlight this, that one of his critiques is that it leads to polytheism, but that's not the Christian position. We believe in one God, always have, always will. And that'll be the last clip for this evening. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. That helps. Also, channel membership is now available as well. That helps me out. And I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.
Claim they lie riding, but I know that they ain't. Ride or die. I go hard in the paint, yeah, homie, I'm a saint. Ride or die.